Welcome back to another video here on the Enebo Racing channel. Today we are starting to assemble the new engine for Stormtrooper. We got a killer deal on a Dart SHP block from a friend of Ben's, and we're gonna start kind of finishing it up. The story is that my brother Ben assembled this engine for a guy, and things had happened. We actually ended up with a chance to buy the engine back from Chop, from Moto Life, and change a couple of things that he had on it. We're throwing a big Anderson B41 high rev camshaft in it. It's a fully internally balanced 347. It's got, I forget the pistons that are on it, but otherwise, you know, it's a fully forged setup, and we're just gonna start kind of trying to seal it up. So I got the camshaft here. We're gonna slap that in, but before we do that, let me show you what this block looks like, because it is like a piece of art. So my brother Ben put together his Windsor motor here, and you know, this thing's tried and true. It's making some serious power, and so we're hoping that this block is going to do the same. But yeah, I mean, he fully assembled it all himself, and so we know that this thing's gonna be an absolute ripper. But man, yep, we got the Dart SHP. Cylinder walls are massive, but we're gonna get this thing rolling here and get it sealed up so we can just kind of rest assured that it's gonna stay nice and clean inside. So I'm gonna put this on the tripod here, and we'll get the old Anderson high rev. Let me see the cam card. Here's the cam that we're throwing in it. Pretty beefy here. So we're gonna slide this in, get the cam plate on it, get the timing set on it, and then we gotta measure piston to valve clearance, because I've got some Trickflow 170 heads to put on it, and then I'll put the Edelbrock RPM 2 intake manifold on it. But otherwise, yeah, this thing is built tough and ready to rip. We got some other goodies over here while I'm at it. I got a bigger turbo to put on it. I got the VS Racing Gen 2 78, 76 or 75. I'm not sure on that one, but I know it's a 78 millimeter turbo. And we got a whole bunch of other goodies that I'll kind of make in some videos to come. But otherwise, I'm gonna slap this cam in, get this thing all torqued down, and then just try and work on sealing it all back up. Perfect. So got the cam installed, got the comp cams, Magnum double roller, chain installed, and so reseal or cleaned off the surface here. Gonna clean up timing cover and just reseal this thing. So we got the timing cover all sealed up, new cams installed, so that's looking good. Next, we're gonna check some piston to valve clearance. It's a 576 lift cam, so we just wanna make sure that it's not gonna have any trouble with these pistons, but they're dished enough to where we're hoping that it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So we're gonna slap the head on it, turn it over, and see what they come out as. All right, so rookie mistake here. I've had these heads for probably 6 months, and we knew that this block had the thicker 1/2-inch head studs, and I had just not even thought of it, but these Trickflow heads are only drilled out for 7/16. So I gotta take them into good old independent cylinder head, get them drilled out, and then we'll come back here and then be able to measure. But yeah, I guess we'll just, catch up with you guys here in a little bit. We went over that I need to have these drilled out, which is no biggie. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap the valve springs over, and I've got the weather head done, and then I wanted to show you guys what these look like. So I don't know if you can tell, these 6 are all standard Trickflow valve springs, and these are the Anderson high revs. And these are obviously just a little bit bigger. So we'll get these swapped out, and we'll keep on going. last one here. When we were first trying to use this tool, we were fighting it pretty bad, and we found out if you shock the spring compressor on the top, it usually will loosen up these keepers pretty easy. So Ben and I've got it down pretty good. Where we just get it on the valve here, kind of center it, give it some beans, and it just pops right down. Ben grabs the keeps. Sometimes it'll fight you. I'll give him a little help here. There we go. Perfect. You can kind of move the top of the retainer a little bit to center it. All right. So there. Put this in our stack of Trickflow springs. Grab another high rev. Center it. I'm reusing these retainers and keepers because they should do that.
Flip the spring around.
Flip it around. There we go. Nice and easy.
Trying to center the hole.
Yeah, you center it right over the valve, kind of give her a... We do have our tool pretty fine adjusted. It took us a while to get the right... You just kind of maneuver the top of the retainer to get the keepers to line up. Oh, one made it through. Just grab the other keeper.
It fell in the hole.
It's the first time it's done that.
Found it.
Give us another bite here.
Yeah. Tricky at the end of the bench because you can't, it's not clamped on.
Yeah, if you had a way to clamp the head down, this would be cake.
Clear.
Yep.
He's that motherfucker all the time. He's a shit. Around and trick over.
Yeah, like, oh, there it goes.
There it goes, yeah.
All right, coming down, coming back up.
Perfect.
All right. Dang, good job. Perfect.
Nice.
Good to go. All right, we're back. We got the heads back. They're drilled out. Everything's fitting good. We're gonna run through a quick piston and valve clearance here because I've been advised by a couple people that having the Trickflow twisted wedge style heads with non-twisted wedge style pistons is a no-no, especially with the cam that we're running. But I've also been told by the cam manufacturer that if you have aftermarket pistons, then you should be good. So we're gonna test it. We've already ran through it once and it looked pretty good. We're just gonna do it again, because I didn't get it on video. And we just wanna be super sure that we're not gonna have any issues when this thing's ripping. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse. Actually, I don't even think we need a time lapse. I got everything set up and we'll just spin the motor over, pull the heads back off, and more or less just see what kind of clearance we got.
I like, okay, go again. So this isn't the one that's opening, right? Okay. Now come down. Yep. Now this one coming up.
So exhaust
It's
is
open, right?
open.
Look, it's open right there. Now watch as it closes. And it's like it ain't even fucking close.
not even close. It's already moving.
And then it does touch it a tiny bit, like the squinch or whatever, but like
It's not close.
And that's our tight side.
Yeah.
I mean that ain't close.
Here. All right, guys, we got some live action here. All right, so Ben's got a good demonstration here. So I think the exhaust valve just closed, and so the intake valve should be open, sucking in air. As the piston starts to come up, this is gonna be compression.
Yeah, nothing going on there.
Boom, ignition, blowing it back down. And now the exhaust valve should be, yep, there she is.
And so it's open.
And what we're worried about is the piston hitting that valve as it comes up. But as you can see, that exhaust valve's already closing, barely touches the clay, and then it comes back down.
It looks already pretty thick where the black mark is from the valve
It
there.
barely even touched it.
Yeah, so we'll measure that, but looking good.
That's looking good.
That's cool.
All right, so the results are in. We've got thickness. So where it gets real thin there at the top, that's gonna be the squinch of the head against the piston. And we measured it's about 56 thou. But if we measure with the little guy here, it's not close.
Yeah, it's not even close. That's how mine. I remember when I measured.
All right, so I think that's a wrap. We can measure some push rods. I'll order them, and hopefully by next weekend, we might have a motor ready to go. All right, we were working on throwing the oil pan on, and I realized that one of my oil pan bolts here, the casting of the block isn't threaded all the way through, and it needs to be. So I gotta tap that hole all the way through, and that way the oil pan bolts right there next to the main caps. Here, let me show you. So this oil pan bolt is not casted or threaded all the way through, and it needs to be. And so I'm gonna throw a tap through there and there. These two are good because they're in the timing cover, but kind of weird. Either way, we'll get those tapped out real quick. All right, so from the bottom, you can see the hole just kind of looks, you know, it's not threaded near enough. So it should look like the other side here. There we go. So we got threads all the way through. The bolt goes all the way down. This side we gotta tap out a little bit. All right, we're back. I got the oil pan all cleaned up and torqued down. Looking good. Got a little RTV in the corners here. Nothing too crazy. The gasket right over there looks pretty good. Just really hoping this pan seals. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. So now we're gonna flip it over, take the heads off one more time, drop the lifters in, and then torque down the heads. So we got the heads off. I'm gonna drop the lifters in, get the dog bones on, tighten those little guys down, the little retainer here. And then I'll get this head on, and then I gotta swap out the dummy springs that we were using to measure push rod length and piston to valve clearance on that. But we'll get these heads torqued down here in just a second. So we got the head torque down here. We went in 4 stages, went 30 pounds, 60 pounds, 90 pounds, and then we went up to, it says up to, 110 pounds, but I did 108. So 108 foot-pounds on the torque there, looking pretty solid. So yep, now we just gotta swap out these dummy springs here, and then we will mount the other cylinder head. We got both heads torqued, 108 foot-pounds on the 4th tightening sequence. We got the Mac Daddy valve springs back on it, so I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna chase these rocker stud threads. They got some Loctite or something in there, and then we got some Mac Daddy rocker arm studs here. Ben had an extra set of the 7/16 to 7/16 rocker studs instead of the 7/16 to 3/8 rocker studs. So these guys are huge. Shouldn't be having any less, should have less deflection. We're gonna be revving this thing pretty high, and we're waiting on some Harlan Sharp rocker arms that are specifically for the twisted wedge heads. I may have taken a video on the sweep pattern and why we opted to not go with the scorpions that we had, but once I get the rocker arms, I'm sure I'll cover that. All right, so I don't know where the footage went of us measuring pushrod length, because we did get sweep patterns on the tip of the valve stem, and that's where we decided that the rocker arms that I was going to use, the scorpions, they just weren't giving us a good reading on it. They just weren't perfectly centered or anything like that. Well, Ben had a set of Harlan Sharp rockers. He had an extra rocker. I think it was intake or exhaust, one of the two. And then he also had some upgraded rocker studs, as you'll see. And basically that gave us like a perfect sweep pattern. So that's when we knew I needed some new rockers. So we ordered in some Harlan Sharps. You'll see later in the later build videos of this engine that everything works out, but I don't know where the footage went, and honestly this video is long enough already, so I'm gonna cut it off there. But also didn't get an outro to this video, but this is gonna be like a 3 or 4 part series, just because we really did document a lot of cool stuff. If you're building your own small block, a lot of this is gonna apply to you. And then we get into aftermarket fuel systems and some turbo stuff. And so stick around if you're interested in that kind of thing. But yeah, obviously it's October now, and this stuff was filmed in like late January or February. So we've already had a whole summer of fun. So bear with me as I pump some of these out now that we got some downtime. But yeah. If you like this video, make sure to hit that button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay ripping.